Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of All Angles. So why is it special? So over the months, we have been having lots of conversations and debates and arguments over this issue of tabling reports before Parliament coming from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission. And some people have been saying, Dion, I don't know what go on. Please break it down for us so we can figure out what is happening. So that's our special program this evening. It's what we call an explainer program. We're going to take you through exactly what happened, explain some of the issues, and we'll get some comment at the end. Michael Jackson of Jamaicans for Justice will be joining us. So let's kick it off. Now, the controversy over the procedure for tabling reports in the Parliament from the Auditor General and the Integrity Commission has, as I just mentioned, been going on for months. Now, we thought it all started on July 4, 2023, when the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, Marissa Dalrymple Philibert, addressed the House.
Members, I want to crave your indulgence this afternoon and seek your undivided attention.
Speaker told the House that given public discussion about the treatment of reports that were being sent to Parliament, she felt she had to address the issue. So she started by talking about the job of the Speaker.
That the role of the Speaker of the House of Representatives is not ceremonial. And it requires the Speaker to understand and to act in accordance with the Constitution of Jamaica, other laws of the land, and the standing orders of this Parliament.
The Speaker also spoke about the laws.
Where the Constitution, the laws of the land, or the standing orders speak to how something should be done. Either the Constitution, the laws of the land, or the standing orders speaks definitively to how something ought to be done. Practice cannot take precedence over the laws.
So that set the stage for the Speaker to tell the Parliament that she believed that the way in which reports had been tabled in Parliament over the many years was wrong.
When in 2017, the Integrity Commission Act was passed, the Act amended the standing orders of this Parliament. And it did so specifically, first in relation to Section 68 of the Standing Orders, and that amendment created an Integrity Oversight Committee.
So, by way of background, the standing orders are the rules that Parliament makes for itself that lay out how Parliament should operate. You have a set of standing orders for the lower house, the House of Representatives, and then you have a set for the Senate. Now, Section 68 of the standing orders of the House of Representatives create what are called sessional select committees of Parliament. And you've heard about some of them. I'm sure you've heard about the work of the Public Accounts Committee, for instance, or that's a PAC, or the PAAC, that's a Public Administration and Appropriations Committee. And now, as the Speaker said, after the Integrity Commission Act was passed, we now have the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee.
The Integrity Act went further and it amended another section, Section 73D. And that standing order clearly sets out how the report of the Integrity Commission should be treated. And as a Speaker of this House, despite the previous practice, for however long the practice has taken place, I feel compelled to abide by the laws and the standing orders.
So, what did this amendment say in the new section 73D of the standing orders? What it did was to set out the duties of this new committee, the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee. And among other things, it said that the Oversight Committee should review the annual report of the Integrity Commission and any other report that the Commission had submitted, and the committee should send recommendations on those reports to Parliament. The Speaker then moved on to talk about reports coming from the Office of the Auditor General. Now, unlike the Integrity Commission, which was created by an ordinary act of Parliament, the Office of the Auditor General is established by the Constitution. You find it in section 120 of the Constitution.
Another point that I want to bring to the attention of the members is that all reports of the Auditor General's Department, all reports of the Auditor General's Department has always been tabled in this House upon receipt of the said report, whether it is a report in the ministry, on an agency, or on a public body. However, members, the practice in general is not, in my understanding, in keeping with Section 30 of the Financial Audit and Administration Act. That section, Section 30, provides for the Auditor General's report on a public body to be tabled where the minister with responsibility for that public body fails to report to this Parliament within a 2-month period.
All right, so let's back up a little bit. So remember, I said the Office of the Auditor General is created by the Constitution. The Constitution also says what's the job of the Attorney General, what are the functions. And remember, the Constitution is what we call our supreme law. Any other law in Jamaica has to conform with the Constitution. So now, Section 122, subsection 1 of the Constitution says that accounts of all departments and offices of the government of Jamaica shall be audited once per year. The Auditor General is supposed to submit those reports to the Speaker of the House, and the Speaker shall cause them to be laid before the House of Representatives. But the Speaker is talking about an act, the Financial Administration and Audit Act. So what does Section 30 of that act say? She's been talking about Section 30. It says the Auditor General may audit the accounts of any public body and shall do so if the House of Representatives has asked for that. That report, any such report, is to be sent to the appropriate minister, cabinet minister, and that minister would present the report to the House of Representatives. If the minister doesn't send the report to the House within 2 months, then the Auditor General can send a copy of the report to the Speaker for it to be presented or tabled in the House. And there's a similar section in another act called the Public Bodies Management and Accountability Act. But, important point here now, the Auditor General can also send reports to the House of Representatives under another section, Section 29. Now, in this section, it says the Auditor General can prepare a special report on any matter. That report is to be sent straight to the Speaker, and then the Speaker shall, no discretion, table the report. So a lot of the controversies around these two sections, Section 29, Section 30, and whether the Speaker should table the report if it hadn't been sent to the minister first. The Speaker, Dalrymple Philibert, former Speaker, believed that she could refuse to table those reports. other lawyers, for instance, senior attorney Gordon Robinson, Gleaner columnist, he wrote a column on this and saying the Speaker has no authority to say she's not tabling a report. His argument is that the minister who was supposed to get the report and didn't report it might be able to take action against the Speaker, but that, I beg your pardon, against the Auditor General. But that once the Speaker gets a report, the Speaker doesn't have any discretion, has to table it in the Parliament. The Speaker says she had asked the Attorney General for guidance. Julian Robinson, the opposition spokesperson on Finance and Public Service, had questions.
Could you indicate whether you are in receipt of reports from the Auditor General's Department that have not been tabled, and if you could indicate the reasons for that? That's first. Let me just take your questions.
I am in receipt of reports that relate to public bodies, and I have not tabled them in accordance with Section 30, subsection B of the FAA Act.
All right, so, and again, just before we go to the break, so what the Speaker is saying there is that she hadn't tabled the reports because she believed they fell under Section 30 and should go to the Minister first. Stay tuned, we're back in a short while with this special explainer edition of All Angles. We'll soon come.